Is it extra low? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, it's pretty low. How do I blink it? Mm-mm-mm. How do I link it? Here we go. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, right there. Check it, yo. Okay, okay. Mm-mm. All right, all right. Finally streaming here. This will work. Okay. Mm. Test. Okay, one. Hell yeah. It's still like 10 seconds. Well, 5 seconds, but like that's not bad. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. It was a very clear setting. When you start stream, it was like latency, normal, low, ultra low. And I just kept hitting normal. What can you say? What can you say? I just love I just love delays and putting myself through absolute sadness so that um it's always defaults to the end. Yeah. That was like a minute. Like that's hard. Imagine having a conversation with a minute. That's crazy. Um okay. Okay. So we're here. Don't switch to the toggle that one time. I know. The problem is no one like YouTube, at least there's like a few people who follow me, so like maybe they'll get a notification and be like, "Oh, you're streaming. That's cool." Twitch, I think it's like 10 people. So I'm like, not that like people have to watch me, but I'm like, if people are interested, I want them to have the opportunity to watch versus, you know, put a little music so it's not so weird. I'm listening to Couples Counseling. It's this band I used to play with. Not, I didn't play with, like, I played a few shows with them years ago, like 10 years ago. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Oh, that's bad. I should do both, and I will figure that out next time. And it'll be beautiful and lovely, and we'll all have sunshine and rainbows, and it'll be great. Um, but that's all I got next time because my brain is at capacity, trying to figure this out and feeling like I'm dying. Okay, so we're all here. I'll show you what I'm working on. This has undergone a lot. Let's see the sound work. Is the music? I want to make sure the music's not too loud. Okay, I'm gonna turn on the music. I have no idea what this fucking sounds. So I'm just gonna make sure if it sounds weird. There's a guy named Thor that is lead to Power Cyber. He may be going to just watch to see what he does. Okay, that's good to know. I'll write that down. I'm gonna screen cap it because that's the best thing I have. Because I'm a dinosaur. Okay, so here is what's happening, guys. Very upbeat. All right, I like upbeat people. Um, what am I saying? Right. I've realized the way I make games is very much like this, right? It's like I start here and I think I'm gonna go here. Instead, I'm like, and then somehow I get sort of back there. But it's undergone a lot of different versions. It was originally kind of gonna be this version, and I switched it around, and then went to something else, and then I went back, and then I went to something else, and then I think I'm kind of back again. Excuse me. That's gonna happen again. Okay. Right. So, these are not what it's gonna look like, but it's great boxing because I get really fucking excited about stuff, and I make the whole model and I never use it, so I've stopped making models. So you start the game, and you get a dice. Why is it doing that? Well, it just rotated. I don't. Oh, I was testing it right. Okay. So the idea is, and I would actually like some opinions on this. Oh god, there's so many fucking tabs open. All right. Let's close tabs. Ooh, do I want to close tabs right? Yes. Okay. Actually, I don't want to spawn monster. Okay, close tabs to the right. To the right. Okay. So, okay, do not need that. So, you start here, you fly, it's a whole fucking thing. Ignore that. So, you get a dice. There will be an opponent there. I just don't feel like dealing with him right now, and he doesn't look like I want him to look, so I don't want to look at him anymore. You were trying to get to 11 with your dice. And if you win, you can pick... There is a monster down one of these hallways. Well, in theory. Woohoo, brother? Yeah, brother. Yeah, there, brother. I'm gonna do a throwdown, brother. But no, I'm glad you made this all yourself. I did. Well, sort of. The table is from Megascans, and it's like a thing that Unreal gives you if you make games. You can use textures. So generally, when I'm like prototyping a game, I use like just their stuff. And when I get closer to the clock I made, this I made, the buttons I made. Actually, no, I didn't. The buttons are from, well, sort of. They're from Adobe. I textured them, but they have a bunch of gray models that you can download for free if you have a subscription. And they were supposed to be a placeholder, and then I put out the demo, and people liked it, so I was like, all right, I guess I'm sticking with the buttons. This is, it's like half modeled, half from MetaHumans, also textured by me. So it's a mix. Thank you, man, or person. Yeah, some of it's usually like, I guess if it's something very important, I want to make it. If it's something less important, it's like, I don't know, like if it's I guess it just depends. It depends on if, one, I think I can make it better, or two, it's something that I can't easily find in a different capacity. And I think, I have too many freaking windows open, and I keep seeing like my stream move, and it's like, it's freaking me out. Hold on, can someone, I'm gonna do, I think I'm back to being really freaking, I think I'm back to bad latency again. No, okay. Alright, we're gonna do a quick test, just because I feel like, I do not want latency. Wait, hold on, I'm gonna test it on my own. Let's see. Oh, okay, so never mind, it's still low, so we're good. I don't feel like eating, so I'm eating this absolutely disgusting shake that I made. And I take ADHD medication because I have really bad ADHD, and it absolutely destroys my appetite. So I basically try to consume as many liquid calories as I can right now, so that I don't get to the point where I start shaking from hunger, because that is not ideal. So yes, so right now there's a monster will spawn down one of these hallways, and it'll slowly come towards you, and oh, This music is also driving me crazy. I need like instrumental music because otherwise it's like I'm freaking out. Yeah, man, it's fucking wild. It's terrible, and you get like cold sweats and like it's weird, man. You think I would learn? You think I'd be like, "Yo, this is a terrible feel. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm dying." My body's just like, maybe this time it'll be different. You know, maybe this time it'll be wild. Um, Coffee doesn't help. Um, um, but anyway, hello. Um, this is Pixel. He is one of the Discord. I mean, if we're all from. Yeah, I've tried it. Oh, but I was just say Pixel is a lovely human being who's helping out with some of the back end Silkbulb stuff. He's very very cool. It helps sort of. Weed is and this isn't even working. It doesn't really work that great for me. Also, this is right in the middle of my stream. But boom, bada bing, bada boom. Okay, there we go. I'm so bad at multitasking. Right. What was I saying? Hello, hello. I'm a caffeine hater. Gotta get caffeine, bruh. Right. So I'm gonna have the monster come up just so that where'd it go? This is not what he's gonna look like. So do not think this is what he's gonna look like. Actor hitting game. Boom, there he is. Don't even look at him. So he is here. You were playing dice. Ah, oh, motherfucker. Okay, well, I guess it's gone again because reasons. Dice come down. You're trying to get to 11. If you win, you get to play one of these little things. It's not going to look like this, but just bear with me. And this is an idea. I haven't really gone. I'm still like testing it. You get to play one of these things, which will rotate the table, or it'll make the monster move faster, or it'll make the monster stop, or there's some bad things to you, and you have to play one every single round that you win. If you lose, then the monster does his own thing, which is like he'll either take one of these or he'll rotate the table so that the monster is behind you. And so basically the monster is always moving forward. And when he gets to you, you want to be the person who's not getting eaten by the monster. How often do you scare yourself with bugs? All the time. Real bugs or computer bugs? Real bugs are amazing. Love bugs. I will go so far out of my way not to kill a bug that, except flies. I do not like flies. Flies, we're not on good terms. Malaria, that's mosquito, but I also don't like mosquitoes. Anyway, I'm very bad at staying on track. Oh my god, the animation. I've broken the animation so many times. So that you can either hold, which would be, I don't want any more dice, or you can say, I want more dice. So you go, boom. He gets some dice. I go, hey, what's up? He comes back to me. I get some dice. I go, okay, I have a value of 9. I'm trying to get to 11. I hold. I don't want any more dice. Get out of here. He gets some dice. He's got 8. He busted. I win. Table's rotating because I haven't programmed this whole thing in yet. But ideally, I would be like, all right, where's the monster? Blah, blah, blah. Also, you can turn on the lights. That's not the right one. Turn on the lights. Son of a gun. Okay, there we go. Where did that go? Well, everything's broken because I decided to change everything. There we go. And so you can see, ideally, I want to put this one up here. Boop, 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 boo. Where are the lights? Where are the lights? I forget what is happening. Change lights. Oh, because it's not visible. Right. Visible. There we go. Isn't there just an optimal number of dice to use then? I'm confused by that statement. Do tell me more. Here are the lights. Boom. 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 The code and shit. Or does the lighted target number... So the target number, it did change every single time. And then I thought that might be kind of confusing because you're trying to like, there's like, I don't want too many things to be happening where you're like, you're so fixated on like the game that you're not kind of scared. And so I had it just be 11 right now. The other thing is if you get a pair of dice, they reduce to 0. So if I get 6, 6, 5, my total is then just 5. So there is no real like perfect number to get because if you get 2 of the same number, you have it shifts. I don't know. Maybe this is too fucking confusing. I'll be honest. I am not great at. I'm very, very good. I think there's like you got to know your strengths. I think I'm pretty good at like art direction and like knowing what looks really freaky. Gameplay, I struggle with. I get very. I'm also bad at playtesting. I just like change things too quickly and. But I got it to the point where you didn't have. Where you didn't have the. So there, a thing would drop down and it would either go left or right, and you would have to bet whether you wanted it to go left or wanted it to go right. And if you bet for the right, then you would go right if you won, and if you bet, against it going right and you won, you would go left. Option for learning strategy. Well, so the dice game itself isn't. The dice game itself isn't the. Like the it's kind of just like blackjack, right? So you either get a dice or you don't get a dice. I don't know, I can crank the numbers on anyone. I mean, you absolutely can. The more strategy is trying to turn the table in a way with these randomized options that you have that ensure that when the monster gets up to here, it's behind the guy. And not you. There is something missing. I agree. And this is supposed to be like a week game that I just like, a week as in like I took a week to make it, that was like a nice fun little break from doing the Silkbulb test. And now it's like stressing me out just the same fucking amount. And it's taking way longer than I expected. But I don't really have a but. That's it. That is it. Yeah. So, wait. Can you play through a round again? Sort of. Yes. Hold on. I got to change a few things. End of round. I don't want it to rotate because that is. Oh boy. Let's put a thing here. Thing here. Bada bing. Get out of here. Because I want to make a game that's fun, I guess. I think putting out games that are like, I guess if I'm going to charge someone's money for it, like money is time, and time is time. Like you're spending your time on it, and I think time is, you can't ever get more of it. You know what I mean? It's like, that's it. Like, and I don't want people to spend time on something that I'm not proud of. And I don't want to just choose something out and be like, oh, like, I don't know, like pay me money just to dick around in this game for, an hour, which is fine. But I don't want that. I don't know. I want to do something people are like, oh, this is cool. Like I'm very glad I spent money on it. Yeah. Well, Drew, if you got any ideas, let me know because I am going crazy. So dice comes down, 6. I go, I don't have 11. We're just gonna call it 11 for now. He also got 6. I'm gonna hide his dice, I think, so you don't know what he has. But for now, so I got 11. So I'm gonna hold. I don't want any more dice. I'm gonna go forward. He's got 3. He's gonna stop, which means I win. At this point, I would play one of these things, and if I saw the monster, if I did this, and I was like, okay, where's the monster? I saw the monster down there. I want the table to turn left. What the fuck? There we go. Ignore the dice moving. So I want the monster to be behind him. And then if I lose, he's going to try to make the thing spin so that I have the monster behind me. And that's kind of the... Again, it's not... There is not a lot of strategy, admittedly. It is a, what, $1, $2 game. But the idea is that the dice is kind of more of like... There's like the battle, and then there's the war. And that's the battle, that's the war. I don't know. It might absolutely fucking suck. In which case, I will be sad. But oh, and this guy gets really happy the closer he gets. Maybe he's clockwise. Well, so Simon says type game. So the next thing I'm working on is the next concept of like the little vignette. I think is going to be like a red light, green light type of thing. Kind of like what was it, that fucking Squid Game thing, but like less dumb. Yeah. I'm gonna have icons on them that show the direction, but I didn't want to texture them because that's a huge fucking... You gotta like model it, then you gotta UV unwrap it, and then you gotta pull it into a program. It's a whole thing. And I don't know. I just didn't want to do it. And so I just put... Because I don't know if this might be a dumb fucking idea. And so I might play it a few times and be like, this isn't that fun. Or like, there isn't that much to do here. In which case I go, okay, like, never mind. And I get rid of it. And so I didn't want to texture it if I'm not going to keep it. But, so the way it would go is, so, here, I'll put the monster. I will spawn the monster. I thought you would have them roll a dice, and then that's the number of 90 degrees that's the number of 90-degree turns that occur in the chosen direction. I'm slightly confused. I don't know, I've never played Shotgun Roulette, so I don't know how it works. But I refuse to play it because I don't want to accidentally steal any of its... I don't want to know what ideas it has so that I can't... Like, I don't want to rip anyone off intentionally, so if I don't play it, then at the very least I can't be like, oh fuck, I can't do that anymore. Or I can't go like, oh, I'll do that, but like, I'm kind of ripping him off. So you roll a 3 and then you decide if you want to turn. Oh, I worry that might be kind of confusing though, because then it involves doing a lot of like it involves doing a lot of math in your head. You know what I mean? You have to be like, okay, like what if you roll 6 and you're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And also there's a timer going. So during this entire time, like the monster is getting closer and closer. And there's a timer, you can't hear it right now because I turned it off. Well, so that's the thing, right? Like, it's not that it's not for smart or dumb people. It's that being scared, like, if you're doing a bunch of math problems in your head, your brain is focused on, like, math. It's not focused on, like, holy shit, there's a monster in the hallway trying to kill me. It's thinking, like, 5 times 7 divided by 4, whatever. And so to make it's harder than I thought it would be to make a horror, like the PTs, don't get me wrong, PT is really well done. But I feel like it's a lot easier to make one of those games because you can be like, okay, it's just like it's a short game. They jump out exactly the right time every single time, and like you can, it's very curated. And I feel like making a more a gameplay based horror game is, I've found, harder than I expected, because if it's too complicated, you really don't want to end up making exactly. Yeah. Um, yeah, we need animal teachers, man. Yeah. um, I mean, maybe I'll introduce the rotation thing. My thinking is, you're doing this, you're trying to do this, and then you're trying to do this, or you're trying to go with what happens when you lose, which is like, he takes your things, he takes some of your dice, he takes like whatever. Um, Making a good design under pressure is good horror. I agree. I just think if they have to be simple. I think simple decision making. So if it's the more complex the decision you're making, the less brain power you have to focus on, like, oh man, I'm really scared. You're like, oh, like, or you're scared, and so you're not able to do the math, and then you're just frustrated because you're like, ugh, like I don't have like the brain capacity. You learn where the monster is by both using sound, and you can turn on the lights, and eventually you'll see kind of where it is. And that's kind of your gauge of like how visually close it is, and like the time on like how long you have. Why is it doing that? Huh. Why is it turning back on? Very strange. Um, but oh yeah, here he is. I put a giant fucking emissive cube on him because I got frustrated trying to figure out where he is. Um, what the fuck? Okay. So, where is he? Hold on. Boo, 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 boo. So he is. Where the fuck is he? Hold on. Spawn monster. Start it up. Oh, right. My bad. I have not started it. So he must be behind me. No. Huh. Oh, there he is. Oh, I forgot that he's moving. He's really moving too. He's trucking. Okay. Um, he's moving way too fast. Okay. Let's turn this off. We don't want him moving because that is not what I want. It's a hard story because I think it would be too boring if you just very much. That is true. That is very true. That said, Blackjack has done pretty well for itself, and that is literally just a game of luck too. Although it's slightly more complex because of the 52 cards. Oh yeah, so there's the guy right there. Let's see if you can see him. And again, I also want to thank you. I want to point out, this was supposed to be a game that I made in like a week, and it was going to be like you play it for like an hour or two, and you're like, oh, like this is worth $1 or $2. So I'm not trying to make like a yeah, kind of. I'm not trying to make like the Mona Lisa of games. I get really fixated on like perfectionism, and this is why the game was supposed to. I wanted to release it like at the end of February, basically. I have it done by the end of February, and I'm still working on it because I do get like fixated on like making it like my magnum opus, even if it's just supposed to be like this shit game. Not shit game. The release date on Steam, which I am refusing to change, is March 29th. And for better or for worse, imagine if after you had the choice to turn on or light a single. So I actually did think about that too. That, do I have my notes? Aha! Your notes. Maybe you can only choose to bet or turn on lights. So that was I did thinking alike, my friend. Um, I agree. I think that would be a good idea. Um, so the other thing is the I'm not sure if it's going to be so when the monster wins, he can either spawn another monster. That's one idea, or there's like a level of difficulty. So like each time you win, the next level has like say two monsters somewhere, and there's three monsters, and then like the final one would be four, where you're like constantly having to like move around. I'm also thinking like to really rip off, um, to really rip off Five Nights at Freddy's. There's like one token that you can get that's like a door, and it closes a door that a monster is behind. So one, it would show you where the monster is immediately if you wanted to use it for that, or if you were about to die, you could use that, and it'd be like for one round of dice, the monster wouldn't be able to come kill you. In which case, if you won, you'd be able to switch it. Um, oh, light all three. Well, so yes, yes. Right now, I have them slower. When it goes fast, it's really hard to see all of them. So you kind of have to commit to one if you want to see at the end of it. Like for example, let's see here. Hallway duration. We'll say 1 second. Why not you have to go where you have to roll to get an exact random number? Exact random number. I think that's really hard, right? Go start with few rolls and ensure ramp. That's true too. That's very true too. But when you have it's 1 second, it's a lot harder. Like, okay, well, it's not as hard as I thought. But I've also, I mean, this is what I'm gonna for people who are interested. About bug crawling out of the island, so slowly crawling out of your eyelid. I'm so confused by stove burn your comment, but I'm very intrigued, but I'm also very confused. Might not make you have to roll to get an exact random number, so you have to roll like mad. I'm confused by that because the likelihood that you get an exact random number is so low that I wonder if, like, if you miss it, it's just like, well, that's it, it's over. Which wouldn't be. I feel like it's not like the. Maybe I'm just misunderstanding too. But I feel like that might be a little hard. The make it maybe you have to get docked points. I just said of 3. Who has only? I'm still kind of confused. I'm sorry. I'm not fully getting what you're saying. There is. Where is it? Where is it? Oh yeah, create random number. So it ideally it does pick a random number and that you're trying to get it. Dice rolls. Oh, the fur. Oh. So the player is in the POV carrying their bugs under their skin, and they want to get out, so they start crawling out, and the original goes across. It could. Lore-wise, it might be a little confusing. But I can hold on. From what I think, so I'm very bad at multitasking. Everybody, I apologize. From what I think, you'd have no turns. Just some of that. If you're busy, you don't restart. You just reroll that dice. Oh, if you bust, you don't. Oh, okay. In terms of Captain Midnight, maybe if I make money that I can make a game that probably won't sell super well and will take me many, many years to finish. Absolutely. So if you want me to make it, buy some of these weird little games that I'm making. Until then, it's a big maybe. Let's see, this would be, oh, it's 11 again. Weird. Unless it was just randomly 11? No. Right now, it's kind of just like blackjack. It's again, I I want to establish this is not meant to be like a $20 like huge strategy like not that I do not appreciate the suggestions. I absolutely do. But in terms of making sure there's like depth of strategy and everything, like wholly agree, but I also think the kind of point to this game is like I want to make Silkbulb test. I'm very rapidly running out of money, and it's going to take me a long time to finish. And so I want to release like smaller games periodically so that like I'm not. It's like a Kickstarter without doing an actual Kickstarter because I think Kickstarters are very dubious, and then it's like I don't know if it's not what you promised, and people get upset, which is understandable. But so I can go Frankel, Farkle. Ooh, I will look into that. Push your luck. Push your luck game. Oh, cool at math. All right, well, I'm gonna play. I'm not gonna play it. Well, you know what, guys? I'm gonna play it in the browser. Let's do this. Is this the game you're talking about? You want to be able to play when it's one amount of gameplay good? I agree. I wholly agree. Push your luck. Probability Pedro, Maverick Mike. What the fuck? Where's it gonna land? So what am I doing here? 7. That's a good use. Oh, that's very cool. I like that a lot. What? Oh, I get what it's saying. Okay. So I'm going to say lower. Oh, this is cool. Oh, hell yeah. Bank it. What should I do, guys? What should I do? I'm going to go higher. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh. That's funny. I actually had... That was the initial game. The initial game was... you had 5 dice, and you picked 3 of them. Maybe I should go back to that one. You guys are killing me. In a good way. There was 3 dice. You got 3 dice. They got 3 dice. There was 2 communal dice, and you would try to hit the highest number you could by picking like the 3 different dice. Patreon code. I have a Patreon. I just feel weird with asking people for money for something that like. I think that's why I'm kind of doing the smaller game because I feel better about being like, hey, give me money. If it's like, here's a thing, you know what I mean? Like, here's a tangible thing that like you're buying from me versus being like, give me money because I want it. I know it's not that simple. It's like you're getting like you're providing there. Yeah, I know there's more to it. But I don't know. I feel like I'm very for someone who's trying to make money by kind of doing their own thing. I'm very bad at getting money. I think you should consider what you want the relationship to be between the dice part and the rotation part. I mean, the dice part is meant to be a very quick I think the rounds aren't going to take very long. I'd say like 5 minutes. And the point of the dice is to basically be like a means to the rotation part. So you're doing that very quickly. Like you're trying to get to the highest number. You win. It's like you're supposed to win and lose very, very frequently. So like it's happening very quickly. The monster's moving very fast, and so you're rolling these dice very quickly to be like, okay, I won, you won, I won, you won. Like it's meant to be far more push pull versus being like, yeah, no, I mean it is effectively luck at this point. The difference being that like the only strategy is saying like I stop, like I don't want any more dice, I do want dice, I don't want any dice, I do want dice. And so like beyond that it's not really it's literally just blackjack effect. I mean there's like small tweaks in it. Yeah, exactly. Do I still have push with luck? All right, we're gonna do this again because I want to lose first. Oh hell yeah! I'll get back to the actual game, but just we lost. Someone did not like this dice game. I'm gonna do lower. I'm doing it. I like this game. I like this idea of like put like I know I know this is not what you meant when you said push your luck. But I like this idea of like the risk reward. Yeah, oh yeah. That's a problem. There's so many I think what I struggle with the most is like the paralysis of choice, right? Like you have so many options and you're like at what point is good enough? Um and I think the issue I struggle with is like the pursuit of like the best. And I think it's a good pursuit, but I also think that like if you're trying to get the best thing ever, always, you're never going to finish. And I think at a certain point, I have to be like, this is good enough for what it is. And like, I can do another game where, whatever. I don't know. Not to say it's perfect now and I'm done with it, but more just like, it just gets hard. It gets hard to know when is enough. I like that. I'm gonna screen cap your thing, Drew. I like that. Staying dialed in on your goals. I wrote a mess here for something that would add looking to give you. Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely. That's a good idea. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, I didn't mention it, but I did see the RE7 thing. I remember I played the RE7 demo. I'm just gonna. We're done with this. We're done with this. That was cool though. What do you do for a living, Drew? I'm curious because you seem to have this very and I mean this in a nice way. You have this very dialed in of like gameplay, mechanic, like actionable items for gameplay mechanics. And I think that is I think that's fascinating. If you're not working in game design, you might want to change careers. I'm gonna write down that because I like it. List what you want the player to feel and ask if the mechanics accomplish that. Oh, that makes sense. That would make sense. Thank you. I do not know how to pronounce Mazeran Utili. I apologize for even trying, but thank you. I appreciate it a lot. Excuse me. I don't know what I'm doing here now. What am I doing? Yeah, so that's it. I guess basically that's the game. And there's a lot. It needs sound. This guy needs to change. The monster needs to change. Lots of things need to change. Um, but it doesn't feel. I love the idea of game dip, but it doesn't feel attainable. Um, I am not a good person to ask because I hope I didn't get spilled. Speaking. No, no, no. This game is more this one issue with making horror games is that they do get ruined by people watching it. Um, and so this is kind of an attempt to make a game that's scary repeatedly. So the mechanics are what create horror versus the narrative or the the linear game design. So like instead of being like okay, like when you walk down this hallway something jumps out and you're always scared. If you watch someone play that, then you're like, "Oh, like I don't really need to walk down that hallway myself because I experienced it and I was scared." Um and I think people who stream games are awesome, but the issue is if you're making horror games, which I feel like horror game streaming is so popular, if you have a very linear narrative game and you watch someone play it, especially if it's a very short game, the incentive to play it yourself is very low. Um, no, it's well, you'll see what that is. Um, but I think that struggle is I mean, for example, like the Silkbulb test was streamed by Markiplier, and like I don't know, like 4 million people watching him play it. But they're watching him play it, so they're watching it to see him play it. So the game is kind of irrelevant. They're just like, I want to watch him play something, and that's cool. The other thing is that they just saw him play it. So if the game is 10 minutes long and he plays it twice, so like he like definitively shows that like each time you play it, it's going to be exactly the same. Um, the incentive for someone to go off and play. I mean, it's a free demo, so I don't give a shit. But if it were a paid thing, it'd be like oh man, that's great that there's 4 million views, but like the the ability for me to sustain myself as a person trying to live, eat, survive is made more difficult by like I can't my landlord's like, hey, I need rent. I can't. You did, yeah. I can't be like hey landlord, like I had this YouTube video where someone played my games, 4 million views, like can I pay you with that? Like no. um and Yeah, so I think there's this struggle for me to find a game that is both fun to stream and also fun to play. And otherwise, you get in this valley of lots of people playing it, and or lots of people watching it, but not a lot of people buying it, or I guess people playing it but no one streaming it. I don't know. A real Red Wizard. I don't know. Kind of like I don't know, just weird dreams and stuff. Um, and like I really loved the Southern Reach books. Um, Annihilation's the movie for that. I liked the movie. I thought some of the things I didn't love, but I love the idea of like. I actually don't. I feel bad for even saying this. I love Lovecraft in theory. I find his writing really, really, really tough. Um, to It's tough. I get very like my ADHD just like it's very slow and it's dense, and I'd struggle with him. But that idea of like I find things that aren't evil but just like existential horror I find really cool. MK Ultra I think is something that is kind of similar to that. Some devs include random type event jump scares. Yeah, that is true. But I think that works to an extent. Um, but I also feel like at a certain point, no, that it does work. It does work. Um, it does. There's something about it I don't. It seems inelegant in a way because it feels like because the things are always going to happen in the same way. So maybe you get jump scared at a random time, but it feels more like I don't know. I don't know. There's something here that that's true too. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's there's no I have no right answer for this. And I don't know what is the right way to do it or the wrong way to do it. I've just found from both watching other people and um, I think generally if it's streamed a lot, it's probably being bought a lot because people are very excited about it. So I don't think it's a huge issue as much as I'm making it out to be. But um, I think there is the struggle of like the four-star things like that bird started on flying a hedgehog shooter. That could be very freaky. There sort of. I'm not sure. I guess I the deadline for me to release it on Steam is the 29th. Not that much, oddly enough. Um, um, I would say the downloads after Markiplier played it was like I think the number of wish lists the game got on Steam was like I think at the time it was like 100 per day, and I think after Markiplier played it, it was like 200 for like a day, maybe 2 days, and then went down to like 120 or something. Again, don't get me wrong, like I'm super grateful he played it, and I mean he seems like a really good dude, and so I remember when it happened, I remember like someone was like, "Dude, Markiplier played your game," and I was like, I called my brother who's older than me, and he knows what he's like. I'm the disaster. He's the guy who has everything together. And I was like, what do I like? This guy, he doesn't know video games at all, but he was like, I was like, this guy played my game. He's really big. Like, what do I do? How do I capitalize on this? And it turned out to be just like it was cool, but it passed very, very, very quickly, and wasn't what I expected it to be. Like, this is it. I've made it. And it was like, if I put like a tweet on Twitter that does reasonably well, I get more wish lists and people downloading than I do when 4 million people viewed Markiplier played it, which is just surprising. I know the importance of wish lists be better. Yeah, yeah, but oh Jesus Christ, you hard. There's only normalized, so you can have complicated gameplay and build it very slowly. I said I have resident. No, they are. It's gonna be big. Very true. And again, I'm not like, in no way am I like criticizing like, oh, Markiplier. Like, I think it's amazing that he played it. And again, yeah, like he seemed to like it. So that's the brand equity, if you will, is definitely worthwhile. But more just like for people out there who are also looking like. You would assume that if someone played your game who is, who has, no, you definitely did not follow me. It'd be nice if you did, but absolutely not. I mean, he plays so many games. I would not expect him to follow him or follow every single dev that he follows, or every dev that he plays the games of. But more of just like, I'm more just saying it to be like when it happened to me, I assumed that like this was a life-defining moment, that this person who's hugely famous played my game, and this was like, the like oh, I've made it. Like, how do I make sure that like I build on this momentum, blah blah blah. And it was like, again, I think it's important to realize that I think someone here said that like younger people, and they're tuning in, and if you look at like the comments, like a lot of these big YouTubers, almost all the comments are all about the YouTuber. So I found that interesting because I was like, oh, someone like anyone who had like over 1 million follows or subscribers on YouTube who played the game, I'd always be like, holy shit. And then I'd look at the comments and it would always be like, you made my day greater, like, and like inside jokes with the YouTuber. And you realize like it's super cool that they're playing it. It's super meaningful that they're playing it. But also they're watching it because of him. They're not watching it or her or whoever. They're watching it for the the YouTuber, not for your thing. Teasers. I don't know who's Scott. Oh, Friday Night Freddy. Okay, Five Nights at Freddy. I always say the name fucking wrong. It was cheap. It didn't PvP. That's. I'm also trying to make it so that it's less. I think the issue with Silkbulb Test demo was that it was it heavily relied on volumetric lighting to create the weird shadows, global illumination, real-time global lumen in Unreal. Otherwise, the room would be completely dark, and I wanted the light in the room to change dependent on like the brightness of the slides, and I could have done like weird like, there were absolutely ways to do it without global illumination, but it would have been a huge fucking headache. And I released it as I released the demo. I was like, I'm giving up on this project because at the time I was like, I was working on the co-op game with someone else, and I was like, I'll put out a weird teaser, and it didn't work with the person that it kind of just felt like we didn't have enough time to kind of do it. And you know, I was like, no one's going to give a shit anyway, and if you're making a co-op game, you need people to play it. And so I put out the demo to just be like, I don't want to just put this into a old external hard drive and no one can play it, but like kind of like, here's the demo, and I'm never going to think about this again. So I didn't really think to optimize it because I didn't think anyone would play it anyway. But they did, fortunately. And now I'm here, which is super cool. Alpha Beta Gamer is so amazing. I love that guy. And yeah, he was the reason why like I put out a game, Future Racer 2000, like a year ago, and no one gave a shit about it for like, I don't know, a week or two. And I was like, okay, like that's okay, like game dev isn't for me. And he played it, and it oh yeah, Zeekers, yeah. Like yeah, I mean, Jesus, there. I mean, I would love even like a percentage of yeah. I didn't know that Mike had made so many different games. That's really, I mean, I'm really happy for them. It's funny, my friend recommended to me a game Zeekers made. I forget, it was like hide and seek or something. It was like, I forget what it's called. So I'm sure someone here has played it and remembers it. And they're like, oh, it's a really creative thing. And it steals, yeah. She was like, oh, it's so clever, and like like blah blah blah. And I was like, oh shit, like that's the person who made like Lethal Company. Because she was like, oh, you should buy it because like I'm sure as an indie dev like he needs like the monetary support. And I was like I will support this person, but I'm pretty sure they are like many times over a millionaire at this point. So I don't know. I don't know if they're like jonesing for financial support at this point. But yeah, I mean that would be cool to get any again a fraction of the success that they've seen. I always, whenever I do fucking dev streams, I like can't focus on working and stream. And you guys end up just watching a fucking nothing screen of just me talking. That seed was free and also to get anywhere. I should check that out. It's hard being an indie dev because you have to. Again, it's awesome. It's lovely. I mean, I'm doing it. I do not. You know, I'm not trying to get biddy here. But I was saying, let's say we have to. Anyway, you guys about it. Yeah. No, I mean, I appreciate all the ideas you guys have given me. I love that. It's funny. I don't really play. Has the table got a name? Not really yet. He is not. The Flathead is. Well, you'll see the Flathead. Flathead is a thing, and it is. It's been a journey of getting there, but I'm not very good at sculpting, and so I try my best, and I can make really weird looking things, but like me, well, which is good. It's gonna be weird. I don't. Well, so I was about to say, I don't really play that many games anymore because I spend so much time making them that I find myself like when it's time to play a game, I want to just play something that's like like just doesn't like. My friend and I play Rainbow Six Siege together, and it is shocking how bad. Like you think like statistically it is impossible that we would have gotten literally no better at it. Press the clock again into face try. The clock is actually just like it's a farce. Like it's a timer, but it's not really timing anything. I mean, it is timing back, but it's more of like just it adds a ticking clock mechanic, and it just sounds like things are getting, I don't know. It is a timer for how long the round is going, and other than just timing it, it just kind of adds the sound, which I think subconsciously adds urgency, because I think people associate that with a sense of urgency. So it's mostly there for sound and kind of giving the feeling of like moving forward. But yeah, I was saying I play Rainbow Six Siege. I'm fucking terrible at it. I've been playing it. We play like, I don't know, once a week, and you think over the course of like 4 years of us playing it, we'd be even slightly better. But we are dead last every single round. Idea for the Flathead is just a puppet being used by everyone else. That was kind of the idea initially. The opponent does get to rotate the room. If you win, you get to choose from those options. So like you can either make the monster go faster, you can make the monster go slower, you can turn the room, you can flip the room, you can have the room not move at all. Characters seem to be wearing gas or something. That is in the co-op game. R6 is crazy. It is. I mean, I think at its core, Rainbow Six Siege is. I think for the toxic community, I think in like the shooter aspect makes people think it's like one of those games, but I do think that it's I mean, it's kind of like a weird game of chess. And I think with like the fantastical elements they've added, it's gotten a little crazy, but like I think at its core, I think there's like it's kind of like one cancels the other, cancels the other, cancels the other, and it's yeah, I think it's I wish it weren't so Twitch like focused, because I'm not good. I play on Xbox, and I just don't have the skill to go that fast. If it's between me and someone else, like I will never draw as fast as they draw. Or I'll never, get to their head as fast as they get to my head. So, but we love the hope that maybe this time will be the time that we do okay. And rarely, once in like a blue moon, we'll be like the best player in the team. But it's like the other players have to be like basically brain dead for that to happen. And of course, our team gets fucking rocked, because if we're the best player, that means no one else knows what they're doing. Just aiming to slow it down. Oh, that'd be nice. I played way back when with a few coworkers of mine, and eventually, it sounds really sad, but eventually they got a lot better, and a few of them got a lot better, and this sounds so sad, but they kind of just stopped inviting me because I was not. They were like, "Oh, like go here," and I'd die, and they'd be like, "Okay," and so I stopped playing. Just because I wasn't very good. Oh, hey buddy, my little pup is running around. Multiple endings. I don't know yet. I don't know. Sorry, I'm so bad at blah blah blah. I was assuming kind of dumb question. Oh, it does. No, not a dumb question. Something I want to ask was the closing the word gas mask. That is the co-op game. So that's Silkbulb test. This is like a weird side game I'm making to kind of get some funds to make the co-op game. What stalling would do in your current plan? Like if you don't roll my second die. Confused. So you're trying to hit the number. So if you didn't roll your second dice, you just wouldn't. If the opponent got higher than you and closer to the number, you would just lose. So the second dice isn't. I would love to have some sort of like sacrifice mechanic that by rolling more dice, there's some sort of meaningful risk reward thing. But my brain just, I don't know, doesn't seem to get there. And yeah, sorry, my dog is freaking out and driving me nuts right now. Um, Normally you don't choose to take or not take. If I choose to take or not take the second die, I don't know what you mean. I apologize. I just don't take my turn. You can't not take your turn. So you can hold, which is saying I don't want any more dice. No, it gives you at the beginning of your turn. It gives you a dice, and if you at the end of your turn, if you say hold, that's saying like I'm done with for this round. I don't want any more dice. Like the value of my dice, I'm happy with. Like I'm betting on I'm going to win with that. And again, this is meant to be like very fast. And so at the beginning, if you don't hold at the end of your turn, the next turn you automatically get a dice. There's no like, and if you don't hold, then you automatically bust. Well, then you have the potential to bust if you're at the right, which sounds like poorly phrased, but that's what it's called in blackjack. If you bust, you go over the amount. And yeah, that's what happens. What if I do not say hold? I do not say more dice. You do not opt in for dice. You just get dice. So you're not asking; it's giving you. You end your turn. So if you get the dice, you look, and then you have the option to either end your turn, which sends it to the next person, or you say hold. I'm done with the dice. I used to roll the dice. I literally take no action to play it. I take literally no action as a player. Like if it's blackjack, I just stare at the dealer. Yes. I feel like your phrasing of that is pointed, but I had it so that so I had it as hit. Bearded, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. So if you go AFK, the monster will come up and eat one of you. But I'm assuming Jesus, hold on. Sorry, guys. You gotta maintain the pretty good test cycle harder, or you ever utilize gore. I don't love gore, so probably I don't know. Maybe like very select. So you don't stare at the dealer. I think initially it was you'd press a button, you'd get new dice. You go AFK, do I win? I think I'll have some sort of thing for that. That if you maybe if you have a certain amount of time for your turn, so if you don't do it, it just automatically switches. In which case, it would win, and so it would always turn you to face toward the monster. I had it so that you would ask for more dice, and I feel like the issue is that you're given a choice to go yes or no. And I like the idea of it being automatically given to you, so that if you are scared and you're trying to multitask and you're like trying to look down the hallway and see if what if I go AFK? So it's not just stare, but to answer your other question, you're staring at the dealer because I feel like the idea is that it's throwing a lot at you, and you're trying to keep track of where the monster is. You're trying to keep track of what tokens you have left to play, which way you want to rotate it, how you play the dice. And so I like the idea that if you don't press hold, it automatically gives you another dice, because like if you're not paying attention, basically it'll force you to lose. And I feel like having the opportunity to stop and think and go, actually, like, wait, yes, I want another dice. It removes some of that urgency. And I feel like I want that feeling of like, if I don't have all my ducks in a row and I'm not paying attention, then I lose this round. And there's once you lay out, all right, I'm so so bad at multitasking. Once you lay those out, can you build an mechanics of that and nuances of them? Yeah, you can. I mean, I've rebuilt it like a million fucking times. Initially, it was like you had a hand and you'd get a new dice. You would always get, it was like poker, basically. Um, and I felt like having to add up the best dice and pick the best dice to get to the number. Like you'd pick 3 out of 5, and of the you'd pick 5 out of the 3. I don't know, and I don't know. It felt like you were trying to do too. Like I want to be very quick, right? Like I want to be like like 1, 2, 3, okay, new round. 1, 2, 3, okay, new round. Versus being like I'm having to add things up, and then you're fixated on like which ones do I want, which ones like I'm trying to pick, and it just feels like it's. I wasn't scared. It was tense, but I wasn't like. I found myself being kind of just like whatever. Like I don't know. Yeah, sure, I'll pick these dice. I don't hate it, but the added strategy actually felt counterproductive. It felt like I don't know. I don't know. It felt. I mean, maybe I cut it out too quick, but if you can stress on mechanic units, the 2 button in front, you just like the demo having to pick between two is pretty fast. Yeah, no, that's not bad. I'm still, yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot to do, and again, it's that idea of like, which I struggle with, is like when is good enough, and so there's always like I love the idea of the high lower mechanic, but then like is that just a different game, or is that does that replace? I don't know. The problem is I go around in circles over and over and over and over again, and I fear that I will tweak and tweak and tweak until it's June and I haven't released even the small game that I was supposed to put out, and my landlord's like, get the fuck out of your apartment. And I think that's a hyperbolic example, but I think that is, I don't know. My old boss used to say like pencils down, because I would she'd give me some artist thing that I'd have to work on, and I'd be buying typewriters off of Craigslist to work on it, and it'd just be like, at a certain point, man, like you just gotta like let good be good enough. And I don't know where that is. Not to say like, don't get me wrong, like I love the ideas that every one of you have given, and I'm gonna try to do my best to kind of incorporate those the best I can. But I don't know. That's what keeps me up at night. Is like, have I done enough? Thank you, man. Thank you for being here. Seriously appreciate it. No, I mean, I really like the risk reward thing. That was that was like that spin thing of like, do you? I mean, I guess that's kind of what, in theory, I want the blackjack to be, because like the idea being that you're stuck, you have this number and you go, okay, well, do I get closer or do I go the Yahtzee from 0? I have not, no. Do I stick where I am or do I go higher to get closer? That part riskier, give you bonus action, the rotation part. I agree. Again, I think it gets back to that question of like, what do I want this game to be? Right? Like, do I want it to be like a very deep strategic game? Like, ideally, yeah. No. I don't think it's a lame idea at all. It's less about the lameness of it and more about the fast feasibility of. Oh, I should check that out then, because I think. I mean, that's what keeps me up at night. Is like, is this the best idea that I have? And like, I think the belief that I can always improve it is a hard one, because it's like, if everything's I think at a certain point you have to go, okay, this is good enough, and like I can refine, I can tweak. Um, it didn't give me a link unfortunately, but I'll just Google them because that sounds like super relevant. Um, yeah, I don't know how to do this. It's kind of a learning curve, and I think that was an idea where like the different tokens you could do. Like at the beginning, it would just be right and left. Like the second level, it would have like, or you would unlock maybe. So like if you keep playing, you unlock like flipping and skipping. And then like there's one that was like, if you play it, then like I don't know, you automatically lose or something. And so there'd be like another token that like uh, you'd have to disc. I don't know. But again, it gets into the point of like if you, I guess I'm hesitant to keep adding on. I definitely will. Um, oh, that's very cool. Um, I will yeah, I think I struggle with mechanics. And I also struggle with just being like, here's a simple thing, and like, it'll never feel right. That's the problem. I feel because they're always like, again, like you guys are giving me like 50 new ideas, and they've all been like amazing. And the issue is when like, again, like how do you go like this is good enough? Um, and I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. I it started as it was supposed to be rock paper scissors at first because I was like, I'll make a game in a week, and I just want to like bang out something fast. It's kind of creepy and fun. And then I was like, it's not enough strategy. I'll do cards, and then learning how to make card games is really fucking hard. It's 52 iterations of every card, and I was like, all right, we'll do dice. Um, yeah, I mean, I would say making it the player feel the way you wanted the player to feel is yes and no, because I think the player can still feel scared, and I'm like, well, as scared as I want them, right? Um, do I think like yeah, I guess that's the thing. Is it the best? Is it the best possible game it can be? Um, and that's hard. That's very hard, and I struggle with it. I think that my biggest struggle is just going like, I'm good for now, and like I'm just gonna move forward because that like already with these ideas, I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta go back. I got this, I got that, and I'm like, ah, um, because I don't know. I maybe I guess that's the thing. Maybe I'm just not as sure of myself. Like art, people can suggest art stuff, and I'm like, no, I have a very good idea of what I want, and like I can do the shield to different ideas and be like, no, like this is, and I think my game mechanic muscles are kind of weaker, and I think because of that, I'm less sure. I think so. I'm always kind of tweaking, like dice with cards. Yes, you go back to cards. What? RE7 had tokens too. I will never be unique. Um, I have to run. Unfortunately, my dog is losing her mind, and I gotta take her out. I have a meeting at 2 with some people. But first of all, thank you all for being here. You are absolutely lovely. And I think I can get overwhelmed by. I guess basically what I'm saying is I don't want. I get overwhelmed and frustrated that my ideas are not as. I think an insecurity of mine, right, is that like I want to make the best game I can, and so I think sometimes with suggestions I can be like overwhelmed and be like, oh no, like how am I going to do that? Like, does that mean my ideas aren't good enough? And I hope that those insecurities didn't come through too much, and that like you still feel comfortable giving ideas, because I think I really love the ideas and I really love suggestions, and I think it's just kind of this is a new thing for me, and yeah, I think I'm just trying to and uh, that's it really. And so yeah, I just want to make very clear that I really appreciate you guys, and Pay for the cost of wide mention. Yeah. And I just want to make sure that you're aware that I'm very appreciative. And, even if I either missed your comment or I was like, oh, I don't know if the idea or whatever, like, please don't feel like, I'm not taking them all in and really appreciating it. And hopefully I will have some playtesting soon that if anyone wants to, you can play it and rip rip it apart and totally discard my confidence, please. Because otherwise I'll put out a game that doesn't do well and that will hurt my confidence even more. So hurt my confidence in the short term, help my confidence in the long term. I love you all, and I will hopefully talk to you all soon. Farewell. I hope this ends and I don't just close the thing and you see my empty room. How do I do this? Okay. Farewell.